Yeah, so let's be clear. Let's be very clear from the very beginning here. God will not honor a false gospel. God will not save sinners by a false gospel. Sinners are not saved by a false gospel. They are saved in spite of them. When we are dealing with something like universal atonement, doesn't matter if it's a Free Will Baptist down the road or a Methodist, or a Church of God, or an Assembly of God. They are synergists and they are not believers in Jesus Christ. They have not believed the gospel. Now, when we are dealing with something like Roman Catholicism, we are dealing with absolute evil and satanic pagan idolatry. Every bit as evil and satanic as what we call Judaism, the religion of Antichrist. And to yoke ourselves with either as quote unquote Christian nationalists would be to unequally yoke ourselves. We would be partaking at the Lord's table with we would be partaking at the table of the Lord and at the table of Satan himself. And we can't drink out of both cups. And another part of this is God and mammon. Money, filthy lucre. And Joel Webbon, Alex Jones, Calvin Robinson, that's all these people care about is money and fame, filthy lucre. They are controlled opposition, and they are not the friend of you and I. They are not. Now, Webbon, he loves to promote this guy, Calvin Robinson. Calvin Robinson, not only is he a Roman Catholic, Calvin Robinson is a Roman Catholic who has spoken at conferences with Trump's spiritual advisor, self-professed apostle and prophet, Paula White. Here's what he had to say about her at a conference a couple of years ago. I think this was in 2025, excuse me. Just listen to this.
White was one of the first friends I made when I came over here. And Pastor Paula White was one of the first friends I made when I came over here. And I'm going to talk about why I came over here. But when I first got into this country, a mutual friend of ours connected us and said, you are fighting the battle for Christ. She is fighting the battle for Christ. You two need to connect. And we had a lengthy phone conversation, and I heard much of Paula's story, which I don't know if you've shared all of that, but you definitely should record it at some point. And I thought, this is my sister, right? This is someone who's fighting the good fight. And I'm saying this because I assume that by inviting me here today, not only am I not from around here, but I'm also from a different tradition, as you can tell by my clothing. But I'm assuming that Pastor Paula White would have taken some flack for inviting me here today. So I just wanted to take a moment to say I appreciate you and I see you.
Now, I should not have to explain to you at this point the problems with that. Webbon, the New Christian Right Ministries, those people aren't sincere, guys. And if you continue to endorse people, if you are supposed to be a Protestant, and by Protestant I mean an actual Reformed Christian, someone that believes by the grace of God the true gospel, and contends for the faith, contends for the doctrines of grace, and God's purpose, as he calls it, of unconditional election in Romans 9 and 11. This doctrine being taught from the beginning of the Bible unto the end. If you are professing to be a true believer in Christ, and this is okay with you, you are not a serious Christian. You are not. And shame on you for promoting it. Later.